It's time for a Level 1 Diagnostic, and/or this is my third Aurora Borealis this year. You've got a ZFS storage server.
I do.
That you built.
Or the skeleton of one.
And you had some problems.
Yeah.
We're going to walk through that. It's going to be fun. It's just a fun chat, talking head vlog thing. I don't know, but we're going to fix some stuff. It's going to be a Level 1 Diagnostic.
By fun, he means 4 months of hair pulling for me.
And he was like, oh, wait, I can just message you.
I have friends.
And then 2 days later, it's like, oh, yeah, it's fine.
We're here. Yeah.
All right, let's get started. Who are you, and what kind of content do you do, and where can people find you?
I'm Adam. EposVox was my main channel for a long time, where I did like streaming content creation guides, diving more into the self-hosty, run-your-own-world kind of tech privacy thing. Not as hardcore as Wendell, but you know, own your own tech stuff. I run the Lost Saves gaming channel, a few other things, and I have 30 years of video footage that I have to keep up with, or else.
Okay, walk me through up till now, because I've already done some diagnostics.
Yeah.
So there was a part of the story that involves Unraid.
Yeah.
This is a John's Bow N5, which I've never seen in person. Is much larger.
It is.
Because we did like the N1 and like, you know, putting some SATA on an M.2 and like that was a fun video. You should check that out. But this is the N5. This is much larger than I thought. It seems nicer than I was expecting.
It is pretty nice. It's got some weird, like the top panel attaches with really tiny like hex head screws, and then there were paper washers in there for the motherboard, which I haven't seen in a decade or more in computer boxes, but this is pretty good. But yeah, I started with an Unraid box I built 8 years ago now, using a very aged disk shelf that I stole out of the basement here and built a cardboard lid for. And
yeah, that was a Norco, and it was like the first gen Norco, and when I gave that, I was like, this is very sus, but this will get you started.
And it has all sorts of like read issues, on top of the fact that I just threw every hard drive I had collected over my entire life in there, so a ton of them have smart errors and stuff, and like somehow it runs. I've only had one disk actually drop out. I haven't lost any data, but as time goes, I'm like, I don't want to trust stuff on here anymore. So I tried to do the big boy thing and build a new one. TrueNAS, because everyone talks it up, ZFS and everything. I was trying to break away from the pre-built NAS world. And everything worked great. I dumped 160 terabytes on it, started editing off of it, because this is where like my vault is supposed to be, my archives, not my active stuff. But I'm always referencing old footage. And I was literally in the middle of an edit, and files just start like dropping out, just like one by one. And turns out at some point I wasn't paying attention, and it doesn't beep at you the way pre-built drives do, or NASs do, when things start going wrong. Apparently along the way when I dumped footage, there started being ZFS errors piling up, and it reached the point where I had 50 million ZFS errors at one point, and drives started faulting. And all the signs keep pointing to drives dying, and so I bought a replacement. And then a drive died. So I bought a replacement. And then I bought a replacement. And then I was like, okay, it has to be the HBA. So I replaced the RAID card, got a beefy one that was already flashed for IT mode off of eBay or whatever, new cables, swapped the drive again, reinstalled TrueNAS and built the ZFS pool from scratch so it didn't have any of the lingering stuff, started putting data back on it, and only got like 4 terabytes in, and it says the drive died again. And I know things can happen, but it seemed very unlikely that the drives just keep dying. And then we started digging in, and it's probably not the drives.
So when I connected to it, we looked at it, and there was an ungodly number of PCIe errors.
Yeah.
Now, PCIe errors can happen, like there's ASPM, and there's a whole rabbit hole you can go down with power management, and SAS controllers from this era are not designed for power management at all. Like the old, like if you look at, you know, like Skylake era Xeons and before, a lot of the conventional wisdom and even documentation from HP and Dell is, oh, you want to go turn off all power management and C states, and that is literally everything, because that makes a lot of problems go away. And a lot of those SAS controllers, especially like Broadcom, oh my god, like LSI and Broadcom, man, they do not test at all. They test for HP and they test for Dell. They don't care about anybody else. And you can run into problems. But the platform you selected for this was 13th gen Intel.
Yeah, I held on to that piece of information for a little bit. The desktop platform in the first place, but everyone's like, yeah, it's probably fine. I updated the BIOS before I was even using it. Because even my Asus guy, when I first like set it up in one of their cases, they're like, all right, man, you gotta make sure you update that BIOS. I'm like, all right, I did. And then I switched to AMD and the rig it was in. I was like, it can go in there. It'll be fine. Maybe not.
It turns out that since that BIOS update, there have been like 9 more BIOS updates because of the Intel CPU degradation issue on 13th and 14th gen. It's kind of amazing that Intel got 3 generations out of largely the same processor. But also, if your CPU was used for a long time, which you're really good about using all of your hardware as hard as you can, the damage may already be done.
Can I just say, and I mean no shade towards Team Blue, but do you remember what I spent weeks here last time for another platform that they got 3 generations out of the same CPU?
No, I've forgotten.
I was in your basement with a tiny light above my head, lapping my 7980XE.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to keep that thing functional. When X299, they just kept spinning up the same chip with like minor clock boosts over and over.
Engagement challenge below. Are you still on X299? A lot of our audience is still rocking X299.
I think I left it in your basement.
So what I've done is I've selected the Storinator Q30. The Storinator Q30 is what's going to replace this. And 45 Drives has some excellent products. This video is not sponsored by 45 Drives. They didn't send this for this project. I might be able to bum another Q30 chassis from them after the fact. It's like, yeah, any scratch and dent chassis? Or they got a new hybrid one. But yeah, we're gonna set you up with a Q30 chassis, and the Q30 chassis is awesome because it's got 15 hard drive or 16 or 15, 30 Q30. It's in the name. 30 hard drive bays, but 2 controllers that each support 16 drives, but 15 drives per controller. And we're also going to abandon TrueNAS. I think we're going to try Rocky. You can always go back.
Right.
But we should be able to import your Z-Pool as is into 45 Drive's operating system. And the other thing that'll give you is virtual machines. So we talked about, it's like it'd be nice if you could do media serving and Plex and GPU pass-through and all those kinds of things. And doing that via a virtual machine, I think, is much more sane than working with the packages and stuff like that on TrueNAS. Let's get into it and let's hook it up and show you what's all broken.
Yeah.
All right, you've extracted your drives, your precious data. We need the Q30.
Yeah.
Boom in the shot. Boom up. Boom. Boom. Boom in the shot.
I've logged into it already with this little mini PC, but let's put it on the desk here. It's like in yonder. So let's go get it and set it up and get it going. Alrighty, so what has transpired? Well, we literally just physically transplanted the drives and the M.2 on a carrier card. We're reusing a Synology 10 gig NIC because why not?
I think that's the ultimate irony given where I'm like coming from on this path, but okay.
But that's going to host your metadata special device. Now we're going to reconfigure the pool because we're going to use more drives. So you notice there's 14 drives in here now, not 12. And we're going to be able to increase the pool capacity. Yeah. And maybe have like 1 hot spare. Or Z3, or, I don't know, something. But use 6 terabytes out of 279 because everything is crammed on everything else because you were having trouble and it was like, oh, where do we start? It's like, oh, let's...
Yeah.
So, and it is resumed scrubbing. It will be complete in 47 minutes because I'd asked it to scrub and then we shut down. And but it's pretty cool because it's picked up in 45 Drives. Like 45 Drives has done these plugins for Red Hat and Rocky. And so you just can click on it and see what's going on. You can click on the disks and it
see them.
It knows, and
Magic.
And you can click on it and you can do smart diagnostics and you can configure this to email you when there's problems.
Yeah, instead of finding out. Yep.
Email's good. Although some ISPs are like, oh, we're going to change the way that email works. And then it doesn't send email. So you still have to like log into it periodically. It's a good idea. This is actually a good lesson though because Proxmox, when you set it up, it does it. But the Proxmox people have to do some stuff on their end to make it so that is a little less brittle. And so supporting Proxmox with money is a good idea because there's little things that they do like that everyone benefits from. Yeah. It's like community hygiene stuff.
I just need to pipe the video out to a screen that just flashes red alert when something happens.
Yeah.
It sounds an alarm.
And then we can get an overview of the motherboard and see that's like, oh, it's got the peripherals installed, and it's like, I'm sure 45 Drive doesn't know what this weirdo 10 gig network card is.
But it sees that it's there.
But it sees that there's something there, and it's like, there's something there. I don't know. So it's pretty awesome. And then file sharing, there's a GUI here, so you're not really going to have to get your hands too dirty managing this.
Yeah.
But let's do a quickie benchmark. Well, it's scrubbing right now, which is gonna negatively. I can abort the scrub. But yeah, we should do some fun setup and reconfiguration. Although I guess we're gonna destroy this pool, right?
Yeah,
You've
yeah,
already
we
done
don't
this.
need- yeah.
Okay. So we'll reconfigure this and then come back and then do some more diagnostics. You're gonna cross the 300 terabyte threshold. So
Still not a petabyte, but I'll take it.
yeah, well, you're gonna need a lot more drive slots if you want a petabyte. So okay, we've got everything up and running. The new ZFS pool's created, and you have 2 drives. It's RAID Z3 now, so you have 2 more drives added to the pool. Another drive's worth of capacity added to the pool.
Right.
Plenty of room to grow. There was a couple of things. If you want to run through the full setup, there's a guide for it on the Level 1 forum. We enabled snapshots, shadow copy like functionality. You mostly don't use Windows, so it doesn't matter. You can access it through the .zfs folder, but the .zfs folder doesn't work on Linux. We also discovered that SE Linux would not let us access the shares. This is a common problem with Rocky Linux, and you literally have to run a command to enable the read-write access for Samba on that. So there's a command that you run for SE Linux, because thanks SE Linux, that's not documented anywhere. And it's also really frustrating because if you try to do this just through the GUI, it's like, oh, Linux is ready, you can do it just through the GUI. You can't, because there's landmines for you. So we ended up installing the identities plugin for Cockpit in addition to the Samba sharing thing, and it still requires some manual terminal manipulation. So setting all this up, and this is only because I did a full fresh reinstall of Rocky Linux on this. As it comes from 45 drives, they've done all that for you.
Right.
I'm just recreating it because it had to be a fresh installation, because this thing is like the bowling shoes of storage servers.
I got a server with lore. It's got backstory, a legacy.
I've used it for so many recoveries, so many data recoveries, and so many fun things. But it's getting a little long in the tooth, and I'm going to replace it. One
Am
way
I
or
the
the
retirement
other.
home?
Yeah, you're basically the
Sunday
retirement
breakfast?
home.
Okay.
But it runs at 10 gigabit, and it runs pretty quick, and you're going to get a lot of mileage out of it. And you said you're going to merge in your unraid pool as well.
Yes. So I will be.
But you have to copy the data off of it and make sure the data is safe.
Whole new drives, move the data, keep that as a backup in my attic or something for a while, and then I'm combining, because my unraid server actually started as a Windows file server on a separate 4U rig that I made in 2016 in a video series. So I technically have 8U worth of server running now, plus the John's bow we showed, all basically being colliding into this one little box. So it'll be a nice improvement.
Yeah, and for your use case, I can't think of a better fit than literally this. So I think it's really good. Good luck with it. Have fun. We need to get the top bolted on this thing, and you need to get out of here, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Woo! I have 200 terabytes, well, 150 active terabytes of data to dump onto it and hope nothing explodes.
Now just over 300 terabytes of usable capacity. So very nice. All right.
So many empty slots.
Good luck. Have fun.
Bye.